Good evening, race fans, and welcome to Backfire Simsport TV, and welcome back to season 13 of the Simability V8 European Supercar Championship. Tonight we bring you rounds 16 and 17 from Silverstone in good old Blighty. I'm Clyde Whiting, and joining me in the commentary booth and doing your cameras tonight, it is Mr. Pete Bingham. Good evening.
Good evening, Clyde. Good evening, everybody. I am fully sunned up on this sunny day. You're going to have to drop me in a vat of after sun later, I think. Otherwise, you're going to be able to see me from space.
That's probably not the kind of image anybody wants in their mind.
Damn it.
Straight after dinner on a Saturday evening, to be honest.
Maybe you're right. Yeah, maybe you're right.
Right, so let's talk about the track first, Pete. Silverstone. I don't really know what to make of the new version of Silverstone. It's a bit too F1 for me, to be honest.
Yeah.
Apart from Maggots and Beckett's, I don't really like the rest of it.
I used to like the bit, where you went under bridge, or
Yeah.
round bridge. I think the corner was called bridge. And now we've got the Brooklands straighty bit, haven't we? It's been tilted, hasn't it? It's been made safe or something along those lines. Slowed down. It used to be a real home for speed. I'm not sure it necessarily is so much anymore. I don't know. There were some good features on the old version. The new version, I'm still okay with. I'm a bit like you. It doesn't light my world up.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's leave it at that. However, in the past, on any version of the track that we've done, it certainly has given us some good V8 racing. So let's hope that's the same tonight. Big news tonight is the return of Victor Tanaka. Very, very late sign up this evening. But a driver, Pete, that we've known from past seasons, and when he's on form, he's extremely quick.
Yeah, totally unstoppable. Well, on a day when he's completely in control of that car, he's fantastic. We've seen him do some runaways. We've seen him do some almost full field recoveries, if you remember some of them. Bathurst springs to mind. Just a mastersmith in V8s. I don't know what else he drives. I know he must drive something else. But yeah, he's been fantastic, hasn't he?
He certainly has. We've got, as we said, round 16 and 17 this week, and then coming straight at you next week, it's the final two rounds, which will be 18 and 19, obviously. Although I had to say that for Pete, because we know what his maths are like. Now, in the championship, you certainly wouldn't bet against Simon Trendle winning his second championship on the trot. But it's not mathematically over yet.
All right.
He has got a commanding lead of 550 points there or thereabouts. But still more than that on the table tonight. Adam Wright is currently in second, but he isn't racing tonight. So Tony Kloosterman in third has got a great chance of getting up into second position. In the team standings, Team Chimera starting to run away with it now, with BSTV Sports Green in second and NQR Europe in third. Driver of the meeting's going all the way, Pete. I know it's down to me and you,
Yeah.
but we've got Tony Kloosterman, Adam Wright, Alex Sevillano Lado, and Eric Blixt all on 3. Kenzie Newhoff, Stephen Phillips and Nikolai Bogotyrev on 2. So that could literally go anywhere. The Logan Jackson Safe Driver Award, no surprises there. Steady Eddie, Simon Trendle leads the way, with Rob Venn in second and Rob Woodhouse in third. And again, in the Fred Bingham Forever Forward Award, Simon Trendle leads the way, Alex Sevillano Lado in second, and Kenzie Newhoff in third. Last time out, we had our final endurance race of the season from Daytona. Simon Trendle took away the win, Tony Kloosterman was second, and Adam Wright was in third. So that's everybody up to date. We are currently nearly 7 minutes into the qualifying session, with Kenzie Newhoff currently sitting on provisional pole, Simon Trendle second, and Alex Sevillano Lado in third. Where do you think Tanaka's going to get to, Pete?
It depends how much practice he's managed to do. If it's his first race back, we might see him not get involved with the top guys, but he does like to race, so I think he might be right up there. And good evening to Freddie Van Eekhoven. You should race these. I think he'd be good at this, don't you?
I do, yes.
Yeah. We've got a new season starting in a few weeks. Do you know what the start date is for season 14 yet?
I do, if I can crane my head round to my calendar.
Right.
It is... What colour is that? It is July the 15th.
July 15th, folks, for the new season of this series. Obviously, we've got to see this one to the end. It doesn't... You often see at the end of series a drop in attendance, a drop in presenteeism, or whatever you want to term that to be. And that's generally due to the fact that people who are real, like, competitive individuals, not that any racer isn't, don't see a hope for them winning the title. And so they kind of drift away. They see less importance in turning up, but they still occasionally turn up when they want that kind of fix again of racing with people. The real stalwarts and stay-hards you'll see on your screen tonight, I guess, Clyde. These guys don't often miss races, do they?
They don't know, and I'm still busily trying to work out how to spell presenteeism.
It's a real word. It's a real word.
No, I like that word.
I do it every day at work. I turn up and I pretend to do stuff.
I thought you had to take a register or something.
Oh, right.
Yeah, like I say, season 14 is the planning is well underway. We are going to follow the official iRacing schedule where we can. Obviously, that means we'll only be able to release a partial schedule because we don't know what iRacing is going to be looking at for their season 4. But I think we'll be able to announce 4 or 5 of the races. Apart from that, we don't think there's a great deal is going to change. Apart from, for those of you that remember the super sprints, which was 3 20-minute races in an evening, the super sprints are going to make a return for one of the meetings. So we'll see how we get on with them. That was very fast and furious and lots of door banging last time we did it, Pete.
It really was. I welcome the return of that. It gives a real new dynamic and lets people who are... Because let's face it, 30 minutes and 60 minutes. 60 minutes is a bit of an endurance for any car, really, isn't it? When you go to race days, races are 20, 25 minutes at most. An hour is a bit of a beast. An endurance race of 2 hours is a monster. And then you've got the ridiculous ones at 6, 8, and 10 and 12 that other series do. So it's good to bring out those drivers who have that sprint mentality in them. They're not playing the fuel save game. They're not playing the pit stop strategy game. It's just full on right foot, as Wobbly would say, and just go as fast as you can, as much as you can. Ignore the tyres, eat through them, eat through your fuel. I think it's a really good feature to have in a league.
Yeah, and a lot of drivers love them, a lot of drivers hate them. But we're bringing it back for one meeting, see how it gets on, and we'll take it from there. But back to tonight, Kenzie Newhoff currently on provisional pole, Simon Trendle second, and Jamie Wilson has literally a few seconds ago popped himself onto provisional third.
Yeah, that is... Well, I've not seen that for quite a while. I don't want to be cruel, if you know what I mean. But it's great to see him in a starting in a podium position, if that makes sense. We don't often see it. We know that the Team Chimera boys have some history with not so good starts, right? Is that the way that you should word that? I'm trying to do it, you know,
Yeah.
without being disingenuous
Be,
to the people.
be as politically correct as possible.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Let's just say they do it properly,
They do.
but it doesn't always
Oh,
work.
absolutely. So there's a few people in this league that people need to know about. And the two Chimera boys are two of them. They use their gear the way that they're supposed to. Another one, he's not on track at the minute, is Ant Woodward. And we used to show his feet a lot. He does the full-on heel and toe and blipping, like proper blipping. I'm sure there's others that we've never seen their feet do it. Because these cars need to be blipped on down shifts. Otherwise, the rear... What was it Bill used to say? The rear spool axle something or other, rear diff, I don't know.
Yeah.
Locks up on you and you spin on the spot. You can auto blip if you want to, which is what I do and probably what you did, Clyde. And that does the whole job for you, but it's like driving an automatic car as opposed to a stick shift for the Americans. You know, it's one of those features of the immersive nature of what iRacing can do that these guys exploit. They do it properly. They do full-on launch sequences, and they do heel, toe, and blip sequences, don't they, Clyde?
They certainly do, and you know you have to commend them for that. On the comical side, I know they practice and practice and practice and practice.
What stars?
But yeah,
I bet they
then
do.
it
No way do they.
doesn't always go well at the start.
No.
So we shall see. You know, one day we will get it where they both get lightning starts.
Yeah.
Normally it's one or the other, with the other being quite a bad start. But you know, like I say, you have to commend them. They're doing it properly, and especially in Simon Trendle's case, it doesn't do him too much harm in the end, does it?
No, not at all. We've got 1 second that covers 1st to 6th tonight, which is that a lot? I don't really know. Around Silverstone, probably not. There's a lot of high-speed corners, though, I guess.
Yeah, it's a 2-minute lap, isn't it? So
Yeah.
You would expect, obviously, with a bigger field, there would be a bigger spread. But yeah, it's certainly interesting. The top two at the moment in qualifying, anyway, look head and shoulders. But then behind them, it looks like it's going to be fairly fiercely fought.
Yes. We've seen the V8 field, as it were, split in previous seasons, quite a long time ago actually, where the first 3 or 4 disappeared off down the road, and then it was a fight for best of the rest, if you want to term it that. And we had some fantastic racing for those middle order, let's call it. I mean, we've had huge grids in V8ESC before, 45 cars or more, and small grids and big grids both give effective and very exciting racing.
They certainly do. So your starting grid for tonight is Simon Trendle in the sprint race. Anyway, goes off in pole position for Team Chimera. Kenzie Newhoff second for Hydra Race Racing Forces. Jamie Wilson second, Team Chimera driver in third. Alex Sevillano-Lado, Hydra Race Racing Forces in fourth. Tony Kloosterman, Never Quit Racing in fifth. Victor Tanaka in sixth. Vincent Skilbeck in seventh. Ant Woodward in eighth. Rob Venn in ninth. And Nikolai Bogotyrev in 10th. And just while we wait for the grid to count down, for those of you that haven't seen it yet, we are... thanks to Alex Sevillano-Lado, totally redoing what we do on Twitter. Please make sure you follow us. We are Backfire STV, and you'll get lots and lots of great information, videos, and all sorts on Twitter now. So thanks to Alex for the work that he's doing, and hopefully it's going to see us in good stead for seasons to come. So grid is forming up, Pete.
Yep. You wouldn't want to be on the left side of this grid, would you? Two Team
Oh,
Chimera
no.
cars at the
Well,
front
you
of
got
the grid.
you got two Team Chimera and two Racing Forces, haven't you? Taking
Oh
up
God,
the
yeah,
top four spots.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, Tony Kloosterman could be in the worst position on the grid ever.
Yes, I mean, would you go left or right? You got
I
Tanaka
think
on
I
your
would.
right, so I'd go left. I'd go
I
left.
think I would go left purely because there's no cars there
Yeah.
at the moment.
Oh, dear. At the moment, good cover. Yeah. Right. So, yeah, we are. Oh, yeah. Lights are on.
Yeah, we're getting ready to go.
Green flag, green flag.
Slight
Oh,
hold,
they got
and
held.
we are away.
Yeah.
And
Tony's
I
away. He's
go-
gone. He's gone right.
He did. He did. I think Simon got away okay. Jamie was slightly slower, but still okay.
Well, he's alongside the guy he was supposed to be alongside still, so
Yeah.
he's going to have to fall in here. Oh, no. That's good car control from... Oh, it was. He got a bit of wheel spin out of that corner.
Yeah, Tanaka looking racy already.
Different camera needed there.
As we said at the end of qualifying, the top two
Yeah,
head
they've
and shoulders.
shot the
and
roost,
then
haven't
it's
they?
the
Yeah.
back.
Yeah. Tony Kloosterman getting very fighty now with Jamie Wilson. I think he's... Oh, I was going to say he's done this. He's overshot.
Yeah.
I've forgotten which corner that is now.
And
Duffield?
that basically blocked in Victor Tanaka.
Yes.
He had speed, but nowhere to use it. Jamie's had to cede that place now.
And he's got Tanaka on his right-hand side now, I think. Oh, no. He's fallen in. Maggots and Beckett's for you, Clyde.
Yeah, it's a brilliant combination, that is.
It's the
If you
fact
get
that
it right.
It's the fact that the corners get bigger and sharper the further into that sequence you go. It's a real, you know.
You can carry so much speed in.
Yeah.
And that's what catches a lot of drivers out, to be fair. They get greedy.
Tanaka under braking. Look at that. Cold tyres. How did he manage to control that?
Yeah, it's a good move, but I don't think he's quite pulled it off because he's on the outside at the moment. Jamie brakes late.
Nice braking from Jamie Wilson.
But Naka just managed to get a front wheel up there, but is he going to be able to do anything with it? Is Jamie going to get... Oh, no. I was going to say, is Jamie going to get a better run, but he went a little bit sideways there. Tanaka pulls in front. Job done.
Yeah, lovely. A bit of racing from the pair of them, to be honest. The only loser there was me trying to catch it on camera. Oh, what's going on with Jamie? So that was a bold move, I think, from Ant Woodward. He wants to beat Jamie Wilson.
I don't think that was anything to do with Jamie doing something wrong. I think that was just Ant being extremely late on the brakes.
I know, and if he can do that regularly, A, he will absolutely mince those tyres, and B, he'll get through a few cars in the field if he can manage it.
What's happened to Vincent Skilbeck? He's currently at the back of the field.
And he's 4 seconds off. I have nothing. I have nothing for you.
Okay.
This might give us something. It might not. I'm just guessing. Oh no, it probably will give him something. Let me get on to Vincent. That is, who is that behind him? It's Nikolai. Oh.
Would he have got a slowdown?
From where?
Going
Someone
out,
like...
Going out so wide.
Oh, maybe, yes. Yeah. At Vale or somewhere like that.
Yeah, and slowdowns are brutal, aren't they, at the start of a race?
Oh, well, you lose the whole field, don't you? They're all so stacked up, yeah. Ooh, wow. Okay. Ooh, wrong car. So these, this is Simon and Kenzie. Breakaway of 2. And they got very close together there in one of those prior turns. They're Both are getting really good control of the car, though, even this early on.
Yeah, Tony up behind Alex.
Yeah, that's nice and close. And then you've got a five-way battle for, what is that, 5th place? Yeah.
Yeah, I think obviously the battle between Jamie and Victor helped this gap to Tony. Be
Yeah.
interested now to see if Victor can pull it back.
And you were commenting in practice before we went live that Tony had good single lap pace in the practice session.
He did. The only thing you worry with Tony is he seems to use his stuff up quickly, I think is the technical term.
Yep. I mean, you got a beautiful line there through. Is that Luffield? Do you know what?
Do you know, I'm gonna
It is. It is. Yeah. This is Woodcote.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go on board because yeah, this is the closest battle, so we'll roll bar this. So this is Cops, obviously, and then we fire it up here towards Clyde's favourite sequence.
This is Maggots.
Lots of curb there. That's a better line from Tony, to be fair.
And then this is Beckett's.
And again, yeah. And again, he's got good lines through there.
Yeah, although I think it looks like Alex is holding Tony up, and that's going to put Victor all over his back bumper very, very shortly.
Yeah.
That's a difficult move around the outside.
Yeah, it's Stowe. This is Stowe. I'll probably get corrected. Through Vale. He's not doing this yet, is he?
No, but he should get it done now.
Yeah, this is a sequence which is called Club, which is at the clubhouse. He's done that.
Yeah,
Yep, shut the door.
yeah.
And then round here onto what is now Hamilton Straight, I think they call this, don't they?
They do, yes.
And then obviously Abbey, because this is famous stuff here. And then this is all new bits, isn't it? This farm and village and loop.
The loop, yeah.
No, I don't like the loop. It doesn't feel right in any car I've ever driven around here, but that's probably because I'm driving it. But it's just so slow and it goes on forever, and you're just like, I want to just get on the gas now, please. I'm so impatient. That's probably why I'm rubbish. And then down Wellington into Brooklands. I do like this bit though. This is all right. I know Luffield goes on forever. Like I was complaining about Loop, but Loop's like so slow as well, whereas Luffield isn't.
Yeah, Luffield's weird. It's another one that is so easy just to either take too much speed in or to try and be too greedy on the gas on the way out.
Yeah. You can get too greedy, especially in this car. This car's evil for that, isn't it?
Yes.
You see the car in front of you slowly edging away from you, and you're like, oh, I need to get on the gas a little bit earlier. And what you should be going is, no, just don't do that.
This car will punish you.
Oh, it's brutal. The amount of laps that I've done a reasonably timed lap, right? It's not fast, it's reasonably timed. And then I think, oh, I'll just go a little bit faster, I'll brake a little bit later, I'll get on the gas a little bit earlier. Ruined. Like a whole half second or more slower than the previous one. You're like, what? I should be doing everything right, and it's just the opposite mentality, isn't it?
Jamie Wilson has got back past Victor Tanaka.
Oh, sorry. I'm getting too involved. I should just do cameras, right? Oh, Victor must have done something wrong then. Oh, he did! Yeah. Woo, drifty!
Tokyo Drift. Yeah.
There you go. Easy as that, Clyde.
It is, yeah.
Oh dear. Sorry, shouldn't be saying that before I've run it.
Oh, he nearly knocked him straight.
He nearly did. Nearly did. Bit greedy on the gas from Jamie. And that sent him round, I think, wasn't it?
Well, you could have stopped there and practiced the start.
So he's lost 2 places. Oh, he's at the back. Right, okay, that's as straightforward as that gets. That's going to be pretty hard to handle. Let's have a look at. Let's go back live and look at Victor's car. No, was it Victor? Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's got a bit of damage on the front left.
Yeah, that looks expensive, doesn't it?
Yeah.
There's a radiator back there somewhere. He might have missed that, actually. He might have missed that.
See what it does to his lap times and the car handling.
Meanwhile, in another race. Is Kenzie stalking his prey here, or what? And can you call Simon Trendle prey when he's been so dominant?
It's always hard to tell, isn't it? Because Kenzie is just a flat-out driver.
Yeah. He only knows one route, doesn't he? And that's straight to the front.
Yeah, it's quick or crash. Mainly quick.
Yeah.
Simon Trendle, although he's very quick, he's very calculated. You know, he will not be using his stuff up. He will let Kenzie jump all over the back of his car as long as he's wearing his tyres out, and then drive away from him at the end.
Yeah.
Or, you know, is he on edge? You just don't know. And you can go on board with him and you can't tell because it's too smooth.
Let's go on board. Oh, no, that's not the on board one, is it? This is the on board one. With Kenzie. Let's just see what his steering's doing, because as we've seen before, Clyde, there's a lot of turning left to turn right and the opposite of that. And that just cooks your tyres up, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. But these cars are, especially when you're driving them on the edge, they are so twitchy.
Yeah.
And to be fair to Kenzie there, he that is quite smooth at the moment.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's nothing to report home about, is there, really?
Little plug for Ant Woodward, but I've seen wilder rides than this.
Hey! Ba-boom. In fact, I can do that in reality. Just give me a sec. It loses its impact when I'm saying give it a sec. The toe's not brilliant, is it? It does bring him forward a bit, but it's not massive.
Yeah, it's more this car, isn't it? The toe is in effect in the last 300 metres. That's where you get that real pull up on the car in front.
I mean, that's what nearly half a second looks like, and I think Simon's stemmed the flow of blood now, hasn't he? He's kind of calmed it all down and got himself a bit of a gap ahead of Kenzie. If you can call that a gap, but, you know.
We're not even halfway through the sprint race yet, so, you know, it could be, you know, Kenzie had a head of speed, had a go, didn't get it done, and has now decided to woe it up a little bit, gather up, and then have another go.
Yeah, and it does seesaw like that, doesn't it? Because even an attempt like he did have, as soon as you're offline with this car, it means that your steering is going to be more acute into the corners. You're going to have to cool those tyres down at some point, aren't you? Because they're going to be red hot straight away.
And that's not easy anymore, is it?
No, it's not. Even in TCR, as soon as you cook those front tyres, they're cooked for laps. It takes forever. Imagine with this kind of horsepower.
Tony's settled into a nice gap in third. I say nice gap. It's only a second over Alex.
It's about as comfortable as he's had, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but again, it's always interesting watching Tony, and has he used his stuff? Hasn't he used his stuff? Yeah, I think he had a very, very good race last time out. But it's not just the sprint race, it happens in the feature races as well. But you know, because it's called a sprint race, you are very, very tempted just to go hell for leather. And then you get 20 minutes in and you're like, what has happened to my car?
Yeah.
Where has the rubber gone?
Why have I got
am I
casters
riding
on
on
it?
rims?
Yeah. Why am I on casters? Why is it going sideways so much? And why when I put my foot down does it not go anywhere? It's because my tyres are now made of blancmange. Do you remember blancmange?
I do.
It's horrendous.
I'm
Wasn't
at
it?
school.
Yeah. Do you get the semolina as well?
I like semolina.
Do you?
Yes.
What the hell is wrong with you?
You put a big blob of jam in it and mix it all up and make it pink, and then it's really nice.
What's this?
This is... No, surely not.
Is it?
No, it's not.
Right. That's parked and up in the air, but he's parked at such an angle that suggests he's quitting out.
Yeah, is Vincent having technical issues?
I can only believe he is. He's gone.
He has gone, yeah.
Okay, that's different. In a bad way. That was really strange. He just drove. There's nothing else. He just drove into pit road and parked it.
Yeah, very weird.
I hope he comes back because he's a brilliant guy to watch driving. He's had some really good results this season as well.
Yes, most definitely.
I'd say this is probably one of his best seasons.
And gets up at stupid o'clock in the morning to race with us.
Yeah, maybe he needed an early morning poo. You know, like when you've had your coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a big trigger for everybody, really, isn't it? I had a conversation with a friend of mine who I used to work with, and we thought it was the early morning cigarette. It's not. It's the coffee. Oh, this is getting tasty back here. And this has happened recently. Oh, is this a very injured Victor, do you think?
Yeah, I think that is certainly affected him because you would expect Victor with or an unwounded Victor to be closing the gap on Alex, not Ant Woodward closing up on him.
Yeah. I think he's very much down on handling or top speed or both. And Ant Woodward is really honing in on him now. In fact, there's a few battles brewing. So obviously there's a battle for the lead, which is now starting to come back down again. There's a battle for third place, which is starting to reduce fast.
Yeah, Alex has took half a second out of Tony.
Vincent's like out. I can't tell because I can't see iRacing in the same way you can whether he's left the session.
He has, yes.
Oh dear, right, okay.
Let's see if he gets whatever the problem was sorted. And I'll let you know if he reconnects.
Alex Lado has found the gas pedal, Clyde.
Yeah. Again, it'd be interesting to know if it's what we spoke about. Has Tony used his stuff up? We're at 17 and a half minutes. Or has Alex just been saving his stuff and has now found his rhythm and he's now going for it?
Yeah, Tony was wide there at... why does my brain elude me so many times in a day, cops? And Alex looks really strong through Maggots and Beckett's.
Well, you can only see this. Yeah, you can only see this going one way, can't you, at the moment?
It doesn't seem that way. Yeah, definitely. He's not near enough this lap, but he's cut that lead down. That lead down by half in half a lap. And ahead of him, his own teammate's doing exactly the same to Simon Trundle, or he was. It's opened out a little bit now. And Ant Woodward and Victor Tanaka are still together. So, again, Clyde, 10 cars makes for great racing in V8ESC.
Yeah, 6 of them are in battles.
Yeah.
Message from Vincent. Sorry guys, was just making too many mistakes. Was almost at a black flag. Just not my round. So don't think we'll be seeing Vincent for the feature race.
You do have to practice Silverstone whilst we've... Oh, hang on. That's...
Yeah, I think Victor maybe has just got too much damage, or has he made another mistake?
Oh, it's the rubber.
Yeah,
It was the
he's
sausagey curb thing.
horrible understeer there.
Yeah. And he's got off the racing line like a true trooper and then reset the car. I was just saying, you have to practice Silverstone whilst whilst it feels like it's lots of fast straights, heavy braking zones and twisty bits, which arguably is any track. This one requires you to actually practice it for a little while, because
It's a very technical track, isn't
it's
it?
really super technical. You couldn't have said that any better. Even through maggots and beggars, if you go in too fast into the first phase of that, you just lose an entire second. Dead easy.
Yep.
Dead easy.
Quite easily, yeah, I totally agree. But there's a number of places on this track
Sorry.
you lose time or gain time.
Yes. And virtually every sequence of corners, what you do at the beginning of the sequence, after the straight that leads into it, it dictates how quick you are through the rest of that sequence. You can be too slow into it and just think, well, I've just not optimised my lines through there. But the worst one, the very worst one, is to be too fast into any of these sequences. So we go through here into what they call farm. If you come out of farm too wide, then village, which is this sharper one here, it just sends you too far to the left, and then when you trying to get right, as Alex did better than Tony there, the loop, which is a corner I hate, as you can probably tell from earlier, becomes just a massive pain in the ass, and you just want it to go away. So yeah, the sequences at Silverstone make it a very, very technical track, and it's not an arrive and drive thing, is it?
No, it certainly
Tony
isn't.
just went deep. Did you see that?
Yeah, and it was interesting because I was literally just about to say to you, either Tony sorted his stuff out or Alex is starting to use his up, because he wasn't getting as nosy with Tony as he was before, but that slight little mistake has closed it up again and may get Alex a little bit interested again.
Well, he's in the toe now. He's not got enough track for toe. This is the maggots. And then Beckett's sequence. Alex got a great line through there. Although Tony did the last half of that better. Oh, did he?
Yeah, there's not really a great deal you can do through that complex. It's all about the exit.
Oh, under braking,
You can easily get it wrong,
Oh,
or there's going to be a touch.
That worked out badly for Alex. That
Yeah.
touch.
Although I do think he did the right thing there and attempted to back out of that.
Yeah. 7 minutes left of this, Clyde. What's that? 3 full laps?
Yeah.
The leaders are 0.7 of a second apart. This is definitely where the action is. Coming into village again.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on the leaders on another screen just in case that gets tasty.
Well, I think Simon's broken Kenzie now.
Yeah. This is the interesting battle. This is for the bottom step of the podium.
Yeah, and a mega amount of points, and really Tony needs these points, doesn't he? Adam's not here. This is P2 for him in the championship.
He wasn't that far behind Adam, but he wants, what he needs to do is go into the final rounds with a big lead over Adam.
Yeah.
Almost secure second place in the championship tonight and not have to worry too much about next weekend.
I'm guessing the gap from Tony to Simon is reasonably insurmountable. You said about 500 points before.
Yeah, hang on, let me just get my slippers off so I can use my toes as well. There's only 30 points between Adam and Tony.
Right. So that's going to be obliterated, isn't it?
Yeah. So, it was one of those nights that Simon Trendle just needed to turn up, I think, to secure the championship.
Right.
But 30 points. There is. Where's that little table? So, Tony, if he finishes third, ignoring.
Oh, here we go. Sorry, overtake on the screen. Alex on Tony. Sorry to interrupt.
That's all right.
My...
So if Tony finishes fourth...
Oh, he kept it. He's kept it. That's...
If Tony finishes third...
yeah, go on.
Ignoring any fastest laps and incidents, that's 85 points.
Right.
Or 75 if he finishes fourth. But then into the feature race, you're looking at the big points. So that's 170 for third and 150 for fourth. So Tony could go into the final round with a 200-point lead.
Right.
Henry Wilson's in the pits.
Yeah, I just flashed it up because I had to return to this very quickly. There's door to door, and then there's like sharing one door, which is kind of what they were doing then. Tony's kept this again.
Yes, yes.
This is really good. If he can stay ahead, this is brilliant for Tony. In terms of competitiveness, for his own like impression of his own racing, if you know what I mean. Although this looks pretty, he's a lot closer than he's been, Alex.
Yeah, Tony's still got a lot of corners to defend. I don't know if
he might sail this though. Stowe, it's possible. He needs to get on the gas a little. Oh, he got a bit of wheel spin, tiny bit. Oh, he's still here at Vale.
Still there.
Good grief.
This is a left.
Yeah, this is a block pass, is it? Yes. Right.
Just.
Good grief, this is
then
brilliant.
Alex got a bit sideways.
He's eager to get past, isn't he? That's going to heat up his tyres. Well, Tony's tyres should be hotter because he was offline for a lot of that. But he's managed to get away for a while. I'll go back to a reasonable camera now. That was brilliant, that. Just a shout out to Simability, who sponsor this league, and I don't know what the plan for season 14 is. Have you spoken to him?
I haven't managed to yet, no.
Right. But they do wonderful things for people. Ooh, hang on. They do wonderful things for people who are far less able and capable than some of the rest of us. Modifying sim racing gear as Alex.
Oh, it's done.
Oh, is he? Has he?
Oh,
He's not done it yet. He's not done it yet.
No. He shut the door and then reopened it.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about, but he may get this through Woodcote. Oh, Tony got wheel spin. Did you see that? Leading into Woodcote.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, he's still in it, though. Lovely through there. Through Abbey. Is that Abbey? I can't remember. Yeah.
Only going to be one more lap after this one.
It's getting on, isn't it? It's getting on. So, yeah, Simability do fantastic things for people a lot less fortunate than some of the rest of us, and modify sim gear to adapt to very specific issues. A fantastic job they do as well.
We certainly do. Right, what is Alex going to do about this out defence from Tony?
But they're both loving this, right? Well, maybe not Tony, because he's thinking, I need all the points. And I just want a podium, but, you know, let's see.
So, leader is about to start, or has started the final lap.
Jamie Wilson left pit lane again, by the way.
Alex is going for fastest lap. That looks hot. Yeah. Gifts the place to Rob Venn.
He does. This is back on again. And the lead is closed in again, Clyde.
Yeah,
Good grief.
He's behind. He's not really made a challenge yet.
No, he's not got long, has he? He's got this lap, is it?
This is the final lap. Yeah. Henley not quite close enough.
Not yet. Oh, that's a little bit wide from Simon. This could be on for Kenzie, you know.
I think he needs a Simon Trendle mistake.
Yeah, and how
few and far between.
I was going to say, how regular is that? Oh, that was a bit wide though from Simon. Why is that camera so bad? I'm not using that again. You can see the other battle in the background, way back there. Oh, this could be on. This could be on.
It's doing something with it though. That's the trouble.
Yeah.
Unless he can cut back, but no, Simon's there blocking the apex.
I'm gonna have to stay on Chopper because it's too good to see the car position. Checker flag is out and ready for everybody. He's not going to manage it, is he?
No, he's not.
There you go, a flash of the lights to congratulate the leader there. As we cut back to this little battle, and oh, Tony! I thought he was. Oh, no way!
No, it's all right.
Is the flag before that? Oh,
yeah, the
good.
start-finish line is right at the start of the straight.
Oh, I thought he goosed it. I really did. That was fantastic, Clyde. That really was fantastic.
Yeah, two really good battles there, wasn't there?
Yeah. I want to know what happened to this boy. Could he just not control the car? Because he's repaired it, clearly. Could he just not control the car? Had it had that much damage that he couldn't continue?
Yeah, it's always difficult to tell, isn't it, until we get to interview the drivers at the end of the evening.
Yeah.
But certainly there, we had two drivers at the front on...
What's that? He got over the line. He got over the line.
Front on very equal pace, and then two behind on very equal pace.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the feature race could be very, very interesting, especially when you throw a Victor Tanaka into the mix as well. So, your results for round 16, the sprint race. Simon Trendle takes home the win for Team Chimera. Kenzie Newhoff chased him all the way in second place for Hydra Race Racing Forces. Tony Kloosterman got third for Never Quit Racing, and he was chased all the way by fourth place Alex Sevillano-Lado for Hydra Race Racing Forces. And Woodward came home fifth for NQR Europe, and Rob Venn came sixth for BSTV Esports Green. Nikolai Bogotyrev was seventh, Jamie Wilson was eighth, Victor Tanaka, although he didn't finish, is classified ninth, and Vincent Skilbeck in 10th. So yeah, that was very, very good. Both of those battles there, Pete. They look like they're going to be interesting in the feature race, because I don't know. You never know how much effort Simon Trendle is putting in. Let's say he was on maximum effort. And Kenzie Newhoff chased him all the way. And then Tony Kloosterman's car, when he got to about 16, 17 minutes, it seemed to take a bit of a nosedive and allowed Alex to try and put moves on him. So it's going to be interesting, the feature race. Like I say, throw into the mix of Victor Tanaka, because we haven't seen his true pace yet with his wounded car. Throw into the mix a pit stop. And I believe the window here is quite wide, Throw into the mix, we're going to invert the whole grid,
Yeah.
and it's going to be quite interesting.
It's going to be really good, actually. I mean, an hour, if they can do anything but a 1 hour sprint race, they need to be patient around Silverstone, in my opinion. Tyres, I don't think, are an issue from what I've read. You've probably already said that. We've got, who's that, Rob Venn doing practice starts. This is a real long game race, this one. An hour of Silverstone, quite a number of laps, actually. Pit stops make it a big feature of it, because pit lane's not an easy one here, is it? You go in at Vale, and then it's very twisty. It's not the shortest of pit lanes either, is it, really? It takes a while to get through it, and then you go through that tunnely bit and rejoin after Abbey. It's, I don't know, there's a lot of tactics involved in this race, but it's not, I don't think this is a fuel saver race, is it? Because Silverstone's full on open gas all the time, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not a fuel saver, and I think the most interesting point the most interesting word that you said then was patient.
Yeah.
Now, we all know that this is the feature sprint race.
Yeah.
We've been there, Pete. You sit on the grid and you say, right, I'm going to keep calm. I'm going to keep all my stuff under me, and the race is going to come to me. And then somebody gets racy with you, and you can't help but race them.
Yeah, it's a discipline, isn't it? Just to ignore them, if you know what I mean.
Five laps later, when your car is handling like a 2CV, you then start beating yourself up for not sticking to your own tactics.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been there. I think lots of people have been there, to be honest. A 2CV would be welcome. Mine was more like a Leyland Routemaster. It was just horrendous. I mean, as soon as you lose all the finite capabilities of this car, it's an absolute beast. It just hates you. And part of the absolute talent of driving this is keeping the car in a controllable state. And there's some people who do it brilliantly, and some people who do it for a while, and it runs away from them. And then some people, like you're saying, like me, and like you sometimes, you just want to be part of it. You want to be part of the race. And that's where it betrays you, this car. It lulls you into a situation where you think you can race toe-to-toe with people. You really can't. Just let them go, race your own race, and you will do so much better by the end of it. Are we going to see Tony go for pit road here? No. So that is the entrance to pit road there on the right, folks. You do gain a bit of time, actually, because this complex here at Club is quite distended. Then Hamilton Straight, you've got all that pit road. It's quite a long pit road. We're doing it quite quickly at this speed, but it's very slow when you're at pit lane speed. Under the tunnel, and then out of that little exit lane on the right there. It's a massive feature of Silverstone.
Yeah, and one of the interesting things is where you exit the pits, it actually puts you on a line where you can beat people into the next corner.
Yes.
But you're on cold tyres. Your car just doesn't feel nice. But you can do it. It's... Is it going to be a tactic in this race? I really don't know. Like I say,
There you go. Right,
chuck those tyres in the bin.
You're going to talk to the people about the Clio Cup while I go and find myself another can of beer.
Excellent. So, as everybody knows, we are getting towards the end of this season, and we've already started work on the following season. TCR League finished on Wednesday. That'll be back in a fortnight's time. And now we are going to launch the BSTV UK Clio Cup. It's going to be on Friday evenings. Registration is open. It is on Facebook. It is on, or it will be on Twitter. It's in the iRacing forums. But go to our website and you can sign up for that. There is 10 race meetings for 10 Fridays on the trot, two 20-minute races each evening. Single make championship, obviously, with the Renault Clio, front wheel drive, hot hatch, and looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I don't know whether Pete's going to take part in it, but I will be back on the cameras for it. Wobbly Kneecaps is going to join me in the booth, and we're hoping it's going to be a whole lot of fun. Because let's face it, this championship is very, very serious. TCRs, although they do have fun, it's very, very serious.
It really is, yeah.
But the Clios, yes, hopefully it's going to be a bit of fun. Next Friday, we're going to do a try before you buy race. We are going to broadcast it. If you want to race in that, please sign up as per usual, but don't pay for the series. And then if you don't like it, then we can just remove you from the league. If you do like it and you want to do the rest of the season, then you just have to pay your entrant fee and you're in. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that, Pete.
Yeah.
I do like a single make series. You don't get any of the arguments about balance of performance and stuff like that. It's purely down to talent or lack of. And sometimes I haven't really looked at the Clio. I don't know how much you can change in the setup. I'm guessing it'll be fairly minimal.
Yeah, there's not much, which makes it quite good, really.
Yeah,
some of these
but drivers can still. Sometimes they latch on to something, don't they? And it just seems to work. But yeah, there's 8 UK tracks, 2 flyaway races, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, it should be brilliant, actually. I might join on Friday and see what I think, because there's not often I get to actually race anymore. We'll see. I'll give it a whirl.
Back to the roots, then.
Yeah, because we used to race Clio Cup, and it was such a
did,
blast.
yes.
It was
Yes.
so good. There's some names in there that I can, sometimes summon into my head, and it was such a good time of racing. The graphics were terrible. If you think back now, compared to this, it was awful, wasn't it? R Factor at that point in time. But the racing was still very good.
Yeah, awful in some ways, but better in other ways.
Oh yeah, totally.
Even way back then. I know.
Remember Rain?
Rain.
Yeah.
Tyres were brilliant.
Yes.
If you remember, there was a hard compound, there was a soft compound. You could flat spot your tyres.
Yeah, it was so good. It really was.
But anyway,
which one was this? Yeah,
here we go. And Vincent Skilbeck isn't with us, so Victor Tanaka is going to go off from pole position. Jamie Wilson will go off next, followed by Nikolai Bogotyrev, then Rob Venn and Woodward, Alex Sevillano Lado, Tony Kloosterman, Kenzie Newhoff, and Simon Trendle from the back.
Yeah, we're going to see Alastair first, do you think? Or is he going to be patient, let it all hang out there?
You would sort of not bet your house on it, but yeah, I would bet my house on it. No, I wouldn't. No. We know Kenzie is on pace with Simon. Roles are reversed, so it's up to Simon to get past Kenzie.
Yeah, and Simon's keeping him waiting at the minute.
Victor Tanaka is the wild card for me.
Yeah, in practice it looked like this was his first look at the track in that car for quite a while.
I was definitely going to say the car. It's as if he hasn't possibly touched the V8 since the last time he put it away. But you know what they say? you know, form is temporary, class is permanent.
Yep.
So
Too right.
clean air out in front. Um, it's going to be, you would hope, a little while before the likes of Kenzie and Simon are up there challenging him. That might just give him enough of an opportunity to get into some sort of rhythm. Yeah,
Are you gonna bet $5 against what Chris is saying about Victor?
yeah. Although he's the wild card, I don't think he's going to win.
Oh, there we go. I think Simon Trundle is gonna masterclass this somehow, and I don't even know how. I just don't.
Well, he's very tactically astute, isn't he? So all the cars are on the grid. We wait for the lights to come on.
Now,
Here they come.
Rob Ven's jumped the start. He should have just gone. He should have just floored it.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't want to get involved in other stuff. Victor Tanaka's just gone. He's already gone.
Yeah, you're right. If you do jump the start, you might as well just go.
Yeah, your penalty's the same, right? You might as well eat away some of the penalty on the track.
Yeah.
But it's not your first instinct, is it? So never mind.
Half decent starts for both the Chimera cars.
Yeah, pretty good. I mean, Jamie's not just holding second place at the moment, he's got a good gap as well. Compared to this group here, which is just a bit of a battle at the moment. Obviously, it's 8 cars for first place until Victor breaks Jamie's toe.
Yeah.
Jamie's staying with him, to be fair.
Yeah, this mid pack here was together for a good 4 or 5 laps.
Who was that? Who was that? Alan Woodward, was it? No, it wasn't. It was Nikolai. Oh, Nikolai's offline, and now he's going to be a cork in a bottle, I think. Alan Woodward is through. Tony wants through desperately, because that's a big opportunity to miss out on, isn't it?
It certainly is, yeah.
A stacked up car, even if it is part of your own sister team, it's too good to miss.
Yeah, it's a cheap place, and that's what everybody wants.
He's had to stay behind there, though. NQR cars, Tony, super sideways, and that's going to give Kenzie a little look at him.
Ooh.
There's an air between them as Rob checks up and manages, I think, to avoid hitting. Was that Tony?
No, I think. Yeah, that's Tony there. But
It was
I
Alex.
think it was Alex and Nikolai. Yeah.
I don't think they touched. I don't even think the original crash was involving cars that actually hit one another. I do think it was a solid air moment. Once this all calms down a little, because Jamie Wilson's putting pressure on at the very front now. We should not discount Jamie Wilson in this, I don't think. Look at the gap he's got.
Yeah, that really helped Kenzie and Simon to get past 4 cars, really.
Yeah, it really did. Oh, Tony doing a lovely line, but Luffield's a long way around the outside. That's a huge line to take.
It is, but you can get a good launch, but you can also defend very well by sort of blocking the exit.
So this is going on here, and then at the very front, this is going on.
Yeah, I was going to say this front battle is very good at the moment.
It'd be great to see Jamie lead the race for a bit. He's such a stalwart of all our leagues, really, isn't he?
He certainly is. Don't forget these two were the two cars that came together in the sprint race.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they've got previous, haven't they? Oh, Tony Klusterman's just passed Rob then, by the way. Like, literally just as I said it. It came out of nowhere, so we'll have a look at that in a second. In fact, we'll look at it now, because there's not going to be anything happen in that one. Ooh. Why is... Oh, this might... Oh, I don't know. I'll stay quiet for a minute.
Tony's throwing it down the inside.
That's a really nice line and a nice overtake. Rob's hanging it out on the outside. And then peels off to the pits. That's what I found inexplicable. He's just...
No, that will be his penalty.
Eh?
For his jump start.
Oh, of course. What a fool. Yeah, sorry.
That thing that happened like 45 seconds ago.
I've got the memory of a goldfish. We all know this to be true. There's no surprises in any of that. You're lucky I'm not commenting on why Vincent Skilbeck's suddenly at the back even though he was on pole. You know, it's one of those situations. Jamie's doing a great job, isn't he? We know Victor's
wants
fast.
that lead, doesn't he?
Yeah, they've gapped and Woodward, who's good in the car, by 2 full seconds. We're only on lap 3. There's battles brewing further back, so I don't think this will come to much because they're so even. We saw it in the first race, but this is Simon chasing Kenzie, and they're pretty much together. And then further back is Nikolai chasing Tony. Now I don't think that'll come to much because, in theory, given the lap times that we saw in race 1 and in practice and quali, Tony should gap Nikolai.
Yeah.
This one, we know, has been tasty before.
Yeah, Nikolai may be able to stay with Tony just using that draft.
Yeah.
Not do anything with it to overtake him, but just keep with him. Tony's got a couple of seconds up the road to carry on his battle with Alex.
Ooh, that was a different set of lines from Simon Trundle and Kenzie there, but it's all balanced itself out by the end of it.
Yeah, I think the interesting bit with that battle is how quickly do they get past Ant Woodward?
Yeah.
Because it can be as simple as where you catch somebody on the track.
Oh, but on this track particularly, as we see Victor go very deep into... I've lost where we are on track, to be fair. Is this Luffield again? It is, yeah. So Jamie's crawling all over him like a bad rash at the minute. That's Woodcote, and then we head off towards Abbey. Not Abbey. Yeah, it is Abbey.
Yeah, it's so easy to get it wrong around the outside there and be greedy.
And then Maggots and Beckett's. There's no line to overtake through this.
No, there's nothing you can do there. It's all about the exit here.
And it looked like Jamie was lining up for a really good exit through Chapel there, and he's kind of come out equal, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you see a lot of drivers there, they know they can't do anything through Maggots and Beckett's, but Beckett's, they tend to square the corner off to try and get a better exit.
Yeah. I'm going to have to leave you on this for a minute. Ooh.
Yeah, it's not going around the outside.
No, I was going to say, Vale's not the right place to do it. I'm going to leave you with this for a minute because I heard something downstairs. I'll be back shortly.
Okie dokie. So Pete's cats are obviously having a party. So Kenzie and Simon, you can just see it in the background every now and again, are catching Ant Woodward. And again, as we were saying, it depends on where on the track you catch somebody, because in the wrong, if Kenzie catches Ant at the wrong place, he could then be under a lot of pressure from Simon. If he catches him in the right place, he could get straight past him. Simon then gets Ant in the wrong place, and by the time Simon gets past Ant, there could be a 1.5 seconds, 2 second gap between them that Simon's then got to close down again. Jamie Wilson, as you can see on your screen, is getting very twitchy in places behind Victor. I'm sure in his head he would have wanted this overtake done and dusted by now. We will be able to see Kenzie and Simon on his relative screen. And he really wants to get past Victor before those two get past Ant Woodward. If those two get past Ant Woodward. Because we know Ant can defend as well. Victor...
Still going on then?
It's still going on. Victor's going a little bit defensive.
Ooh, yeah. A little bit. What?
Yeah, he's not. It's not full on defence yet.
No. I think we've got another issue brewing a bit further back. I'm just going to cut to it now, which is Simon and Kenzie have both caught Ant Woodward as you predicted.
Yeah, I say it just depends now. Kenzie wants an opportunity to get past Ant, and then Ant closes the door on Simon. Simon wants Kenzie to open that door and follow him through.
Oh, it's a lovely line from Kenzie. Oh my God, that was good.
Oh, he nearly got that.
Nearly, yeah, that was just brilliant. He squared Village off so early he could get on the gas super quick.
He just couldn't get a nose in there, and it was always going to be a hole that was going to close.
Yeah. Oh, what's that in the distance? That's developed very fast. What's going on here? Tony Kloosterman. Oh, right.
Slow down.
I don't know, it's a slow... Well, it may well be, actually.
Is it a slow down or just a slow getting up to speed? Ooh.
That was weird.
Yeah.
That's very Tony-like.
Did he have a right rear just on the grass there? I don't know.
No, I don't either. Right, that's odd. Right, back to live. He says. There we go.
Yeah, it's so Kenzie has got past Ant.
Oh, right. Is this an Ant mistake? Because that's a big gap he's got already. Oh no! No! Massive run, massive into Maggots. And once you get on that inside, oh, he's giving it.
Yeah.
He's giving it.
Yeah, there was no fight to be had there, to be honest.
And now he's got other company.
Well, Kenzie wants to run now.
Yeah, as fast as his little wheels can carry him.
Yeah, run away!
It'll be interesting to see how fast Simon can dispatch Ant, if at all, in comparison to Kenzie. Because we know, like you said it before, Kenzie just does race, if you know what I mean. He's mega fast.
Yeah, I still think that we're looking at the two winners. Let's start again. We're looking at the race winner in Simon Trendle or Kenzie Newhoff.
Yeah. Simon's done that now.
Yeah, and now Kenzie will catch a car and do everything he can to get past. Simon will catch a car, weigh it up, and then decide when to do it.
Yeah.
So the gap between Kenzie and Simon is 1.4 seconds. So let's see if Simon has got anything in the bank to close that up again.
Meanwhile,
Yeah, these two are just at it. There's no other way to describe it. It's been like it from the first corner.
and what I'm surprised about is kind of right at the back of the field, to be honest. Tony, I mean, we saw him with that loss of control and the tyre spinning, but he's not done anything about Nikolai since.
No, not yet.
A bit of a gap formed between the top two now. I don't know whether Jamie's looked at his relative and thought, oh Christ, the next car behind me is now Kenzie. Because that can play in your mind, can't it?
Yeah.
You look at your relative and you see someone as fast as them.
Yeah, it can play in your mind, and you also know that if you're forcing the car in front of you to go defensive, he is then slowing both of you down.
Yes. Yeah.
So then, rather than challenging for the lead, you are battling to stay in second. So, where are we? 15 minutes in.
How long till a pit lane window, Clyde? Do we
Well,
know?
the information I have, if I can click the right button, is it opens
Jamie,
as early as lap 12.
Oh wow, right, okay. Not far away from that then.
And you can probably go to about lap 18.
Oh, that's a big window, isn't it, for a 1 hour race? On a lap as big as this 2 minute lap.
So,
There we go. I thought Jamie had screwed it a minute ago. He got proper sideways, but look at that for a run. As long as he can chop across the front, he's being a gentleman. Be mean, Jamie Wilson.
yeah, you're cranking a lot of steering in there.
Yes, you are, yeah. Oh, stay alongside. Oh, no, that's a bit of inappropriate touching, Clyde.
Yeah, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Yeah,
for
I
me,
would say
to be
so,
honest.
yeah. Too right. Oh, and Victor's wide.
That was one driver saying I'm filling this gap, and another
Yeah.
driver saying
No,
I'm
you're
already there.
Yeah.
Oh, Victor was very late on the break there.
Oh, and he's done a good job with it as well, hasn't he?
Yeah.
That's good racing from the pair of them. I think Jamie should have been a bit more selfish at Stowe.
Yeah, I'd like to say he carried a lot of speed in there because he got that big toe down the straight, and I don't think he could get it woed up and turns to get anywhere near the apex. So
No.
he was probably just hanging on round there and hoping for the best.
Well, it's something that he probably is recommended to do again. I mean, sailing it round there's not a bad tactic, is it? It's a really wide track, this, isn't it? You've got plenty to play with.
But you've got to get on the gas to win that drag race off of the corner.
Yeah. Very much so. There's gaps in the field behind. The next nearest one. Oh, Tony's just overtaken Nikolai there.
So we're on lap 9. I sort of half expect that if Jamie can't get this job done, he will pit early.
Right. Well, he's got another 3 full laps after this, right?
Yeah, he's still got plenty of opportunities to get it done. But Kenzie is getting bigger in his mirror.
Yeah, he is. So this must be a mistake from Nikolai in order to let Tony through. Is it? Or is it? Oh, it's a multi-21, Clyde.
I don't know. It looked like he was fighting it through the last corner there.
Oh, maybe that's it then.
I think he had about 3 goes at turning in.
Right. these two were both over half a second slower than the car behind them, which is Kenzie Newhoff last lap.
Yeah,
That's-
that goes back to what I said. As soon as they battle,
Yeah, they start shedding speed, yeah. Or lap time, rather. Jamie's in the hunt here again, look. Victor's defensive. You know you've kind of won, don't you, when they do that?
yeah. The thing in Jamie's favour is if he knows how difficult Victor is to pass. If he can get past him, he knows that both Kenzie and teammate Simon Trendle are going to have the same problems getting past Victor,
Oh, God,
unless they get it done in the pit stop.
Oh, here we
This
go.
is on now. This is on now.
Oh, Victor! No! Oh, I think he's caught it.
He
Hang on,
loves
hang
that
on.
late braking, doesn't he? There.
If you could have seen what I did, obviously I raised my hands to my head and then couldn't control the mouse because it was nowhere near my hands. So, yeah, right.
Yeah. Luckily for Jamie, he managed to stay ahead of Kenzie.
Yes. That was a wild bit of out of control, wasn't it? And that was just probably half a tyre on the grass, would you say?
Yeah.
Flashy.
And
That's
we've
not my elbow.
seen Victor break late there on numerous occasions. Kenzie made that look easy.
It really did. Too easy. So easy that Jamie's going to be worried, I think.
Yeah, Jamie's going to be thinking, it took me 9 laps to get past him and you've done it in 3 corners.
Yeah. Victor's staying in this, though, which is great. I think he's about to get Simoned, or Trendled, or whatever the right verb is for that. Or that's not a verb, is it?
Yeah, looks like Victor's managed to gather it up again. He's certainly not going to make it easy for Simon.
No.
Meanwhile, Jamie Wilson has got a 3-second lead over Kenzie Newhoff.
And honestly, where has that lead come from? Because is
yeah,
that just them battling behind?
I think it was Victor was slow after his drift, and that held Kenzie up. And I think that's what the light flash was about.
Oh, right, I see. Because Kenzie's not getting away from Victor yet, is he? Victor's back on it, as it were. He's sorted his stuff out now. He's not overheated his tyres too much in that little instant. He got control of it pretty quick and set it back on its rails again.
And it wouldn't surprise me to see Victor fighting back.
Yeah. It'd be pretty healthy if he did, to be fair. You can see in the background there, that's Ant Woodward and Alex Sevillano-Lado closing the gaps ever so slowly to these guys. Alex was, closing half a second faster, both of them. Last lap. That's quite a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot, you're right. But it doesn't take a great deal, does it, to lose half a second?
True enough.
I wouldn't have thought that was Ant or Alex gaining half a second on their lap time. I would guess it's more these 3 losing lap time.
Yeah, with all the scuffling and squabbling going on. That lead is starting to be etched away. 2/10 was lost by Jamie. It's not a massive amount, though, is it?
It's not, no. And we know Simon will have something up his sleeve with the pit stop.
Yeah, he usually does. I mean, it's probably suiting him possibly to be sat behind Victor at the minute.
Without a doubt, yeah.
The one that might be losing at the moment is Kenzie. No toe in front of him, and another, well, let's call it 1.3 seconds before he feels any toe. Oh, it's brewing behind Ant Woodward now. Alex Lado is closing in fast.
Yeah, Alex came to life, didn't he, around the 20-minute mark in the sprint race. So
Yeah, good call. Better line through there by Simon on Victor. There's nothing he can do though. It's Maggots and Beckett's again. It's a shut door, isn't it, really? Ooh,
Yeah.
or is it? Because he just ploughed the first portion of that. Sorted it out mid-sequence.
Yeah, but Simon can see Kenzie starting to pull away, so he's going to be more eager to get past Victor now.
He is. And that is Alex having a shot here at Ant Woodward, and he may well get this. It's a nice line he's taken into that corner.
Deal.
Yeah, that was lovely. Super smooth from Alex Lado. I like that, Clyde.
That was a very good move, yeah. Obviously, Ant didn't fight it too much. But
Long
yeah,
game, yeah.
very good move. And if Victor is going to slow up Simon, that will give Alex a chance to close that gap. It's nearly 4 seconds at the moment, but it could close up fairly rapidly.
Didn't expect that. Why is Tony in the pit lane?
Well, the pits
hang on a minute.
are open.
Did something go wrong here, maybe?
Oh, same as that. He's done that before.
No, that's the same one actually.
Oh, right. Okay.
I'm erring on the side of caution and hoping that I can find a reason for Tony to be in the pit.
I think he's just took the early stop.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Right, I'll stop thinking
Pit
about it.
window is open.
Right, got it. Do you reckon there's an undercut round here? Long tracks it sometimes features as an undercut, doesn't it?
Yeah, but sometimes it's not. It's not the undercut. It's just the doing something different, isn't it?
Yeah. This little group is fragmented a little. So Kenzie's pulled away. Oh, hang on.
Simon is in front of Victor.
As Tony went into the pits, or just after it rather.
He's going to go sideways again.
He's doing the same thing.
Yeah,
it's
he's
identical.
catching that grass.
Yeah, he needs to be like 3 feet to the right. So that's explain that. Oh, we've got
Jamie Wilson in the pits.
Ant Woodward in the pits. Nikolai Bogotyrev in the pits, and Tony out of the pits. This is Nikolai going in. There's a bunch of guys already in there ahead of him.
Yeah, race leader up on the jacks.
That's Jamie Wilson, yep.
Ex-race leader now.
Well, yeah. If he can do some very fast, very clean laps, he might maintain it, but it depends what the other 3 do behind him.
It certainly smoked the tyres when he left his pit stall.
Yeah, and I think that looked like a good stop. It was certainly a good exit from the pit box. So I'll head back to these guys. This is properly fragmented. Obviously there was time for Victor to make his mistake and Simon to get through.
Yeah, but that's giving him a 1.7 second lead.
Yeah. So pitted is from 5th place onwards. So Jamie Wilson to the back of the field. Just the first 4 that haven't.
Yeah, it was about 1.5 seconds between Jamie Wilson and Kenzie Newhoff before the pit stop. So
right.
we'll see what happens now, because I think they're both in clean air, so they're both going to be running as fast as they possibly can. Obviously, if there is an undercut, then Jamie Wilson's going to be more than a second and a half in front.
Yeah.
If there isn't, it's going to be close.
Oh, we've got a whole bag full of cars in pit road. I'm just looking at the wrong one.
Yeah, Kenzie, Victor, and Alex.
Yeah.
So Simon Trendle has stayed out.
Let's see if he can do a blistering lap in order to leapfrog everybody else. What we do need to watch
give us
is...
the Wilson Newhoff answer anyway.
Yeah. I think this might end up being quite close, you know. I don't know why I feel like that, but... who is already moving? Kenzie of the Newhoff. I've just selected the wrong car, there we go. Where is Jamie when all this is going on? There he is.
Yeah, so it's definitely no undercut.
No, definitely not. Although he's come out ahead of Victor, who had the sideways moment and probably a bit rusty on the pit stops. Is he rusty on the pit stops? No, he's not rusty on the pit stops. He's one of the fastest. So now it's all dependent upon this one, Simon Trendle.
Yeah, well, if pit stops are even, Simon is going to come out with Jamie. Now, on the basis that Simon has the championship in the bag, I expect Jamie is going to fight him all the way.
Right.
I think if the championship was in the balance, then Jamie would do the obligatory teammate thing.
Right. Rob Van's in the pits for his second visit, but his first one was the penalty for jumping the start.
Yeah, I think we've just got Simon Trendle to pit, haven't we?
Oh yeah, he's the last one now, absolutely. I think Simon's going to be ahead of Kenzie after this because he was behind a group of cars and I think he was possibly doing a bit of fuel saving. I know it's difficult on any track, and Silverstone's a very high fuel usage track. As far as I remember anyway, I could be corrected by anybody. Let's see what happens to him. So he's at the loop, so he's gone again, Clyde. He's not reacting yet. You said until lap 18, didn't you?
Yeah, it was a big pit window anyway.
And you don't know, you've said this before, you either pit early or you pit late, or you end up pitting in no tactic whatsoever.
Yeah, there's two there's pit early, there's pit late, or I haven't got a foggy what to do, so I'm going halfway.
Yeah.
And to be honest, they've all got their merits. You know, I know some people joke and laugh about the halfway pitters, but that's the best way to get the best out of your tyres.
Yeah, welcome back to Chris Jackson on the chat. So, pit times. Jamie Wilson's was the slowest pit lane time and pit box time, actually. But you'd expect that, right? He's been out front, burning up fuel, doing his tyres, no service whatsoever, not in a tow. He's going to use more fuel than everyone else. Kenzie, yes, is the answer to your question on the chat, Chris. I won't mention it until the final car is pitted, but yes. He picks apexes very well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
As he goes again.
And Kenzie is closing that gap, though. I know Kenzie's on nice fresh rubber.
Let's see what this... this is an outlap. No, this is his racing lap after an outlap, isn't it? So we will see what the time is.
Obviously, Simon is going to get that same benefit once he pits.
Yeah, Adam's on the chat again. He's asking, is Simon pushing the boundaries of what he can do? making a race of it going long. Without a doubt, he definitely is.
Isn't Adam supposed to be having fun at a wedding?
He's
Instead
calling
of
it
watching us.
in inverted commas, family function. Victor Tanaka, fastest lap of the race just then, by the way. 202.44.
He's probably telling the DJ it's too windy.
Yeah. I hope you're not in shorts, Adam, because that's just asking for trouble, really, isn't it? I wonder if they've done a... What was it? Conga? Yeah. I wonder if they've done a conga yet. Or had any...
Oops, upside your head.
Yeah, Culture Club. Need a bit of that.
Macarena.
Macarena. Where's Simon on track? There he is. Still not pitted.
No, he
Might be in this lap, I guess.
He's going to come in this lap or the next lap, I would guess.
I don't know how. I don't think you can save a full Silverstone lap of fuel, can you?
You wouldn't have thought so. And the gap between Simon and Kenzie was 30 seconds. It was 28.3 as Simon hit pit entry.
Make sure he doesn't do anything naughty. So be very un-Trendle-like for that to happen.
Yeah, that's not usually something that we see Simon do, is it?
No. In his pit box, no reversing up on the jacks. So where is Kenzie? Oh, this looks like it's favourable on Kenzie, I would say. Keep an eye on Simon Trendle, but my money... Oh, so Simon's moving, but I think Kenzie's got this nailed. Yeah, and Jamie Wilson's going to be ahead of his own teammate. Is he? No, he's not. Or is he? No, he's not.
I'm sure I
is he?
predicted this.
Here we go, you did, yeah. He's making a race of it, like you said. So, formation Chimera's cried.
Yeah, Simon obviously has got a new set of field goods, but they're cold.
Yeah, as the smoke that's coming off them
Yeah.
dictates. Oh, and he's gone super
there
deep
you
there.
go.
Victor's lurking.
As we know, Pete, that's what happens when your teammate's in front of you.
Yep. So that is Alex Lado getting past, or is he? Is he? Getting
Yeah,
past
he's
Woodward. He's not yet. He's really not yet. Ant Woodward is doing a great job here. Might have to give up now. No. He needs to stay on the left of him into Maggots. Has to. Don't back out of this. Oh, he's backed out a bit too much. Oh, there you go.
It's a bit too risk versus reward there.
That is. It's mega, isn't it? Adam says, great to see Jamie's got his mojo back. Absolutely. And he does love a good V8 race, it has to be said.
And I'll tell you something, that little battle there between those two is bringing Victor back into this.
Yeah, I mean, still brewing. I mean, Simon's passed him now.
Yeah, I can't see that changing now because Simon's got better tyres than Jamie. Jamie's fight now is going to be staying with Simon to stay out of touch of Victor.
Yeah. What has surprised me is the size of Kenzie's lead.
I'm so glad you said lead.
Yeah. 4.7 seconds. Where did that come from exactly? Was that all pit stop? Let's have a quick look.
No, a couple of seconds of that was pit stop,
Yeah.
but the rest of it was the Trendle Wilson battling.
Right. And there's Trendle and there's Wilson in the background of his shot. Ant Woodward is now closing in. Well, he's not closing in, is he? He's kind of closing back in is the better way to describe it on Alex, but that may be temporary.
Yeah, although Ant can go for it, he's got no pressure from behind because Tony Kloosterman is 6.5 seconds behind him.
Yeah, true enough. And that is extending out again now. So Alex has got his foot in. Right, while this is brewing, I'm just going to go to the big boys room. It's that time. And Chris Jackson's making a bold statement there, Clive.
Yeah, Chris Jackson, the non-racer. So 4 seconds Kenzie to Simon. I would expect Simon to close in on him, but then maybe Kenzie is just gonna manage the gap. Jamie Wilson will drop away from Simon Trendle because he just hasn't got as good as tyres on. For me, it's what has Victor got left. So the gap is going between 1.7 and 2 seconds, Victor Tanaka to Jamie Wilson. So interesting to see in the last 20 minutes if Victor can do anything. He's going to have to stop putting rear wheels on the grass to start with. So Chris Jackson is saying that if Simon can put pressure on Kenzie, maybe Kenzie would run out of fuel on the last lap. Adam is saying Kenzie is super smart with a high IQ, a high racing IQ. I've got to agree with Adam. Like I say, I expect Simon to close in, but it'll be interesting if the gap gets down under 2 seconds, because if you're gap managing it at the front, you want to keep it sort of 2 seconds and north of that. We'll have to see.
No,
there's always, sorry Pete, there's always the possibility that Simon Trendle underfueled as well. So maybe he isn't able to go full beans all the way to the end.
I was just going to say that lead that I was talking about for Kenzie seems to have evaporated pretty quick.
Yeah, it has at the moment, but I sort of suspect that both Kenzie and Simon both underfueled.
Right.
With the option to manage it to get to the end of the race. I think what we're seeing at the moment is Kenzie is managing it and Simon isn't.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And Victor Tanaka has just put in the fastest lap of the race.
And Simon Trendle's just done the fastest lap last time round. Or his fastest lap, is that? Yeah. Not the fastest lap overall, though. But it's not as fast as Kenzie's. So, yeah. There's a lot going on at the minute in terms of that, push and thrust, or cut and thrust rather, of the lap time exchange. I'll just put them all on there. So the first one is the gap, obviously, between cars. The second one is the best lap that anybody's done individually, and Victor's got the highest of those, or quickest rather. And then the last one is the last lap that they've recorded. So it gives you the current performance, as it were. I'm trying to get into one of the. You remember Chupa Chups?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm trying to get in one of those lollies at the minute, and it's being
You
a
need a
real pain in the
knife.
backside.
Yeah.
What?
You need a standing knife to get into them.
Yeah, what the hell? When did they make them so robust? What the? Still not done it. So, a few gaps forming in the field at the minute. Victor still travelling faster than everybody around him at the moment. Let's talk about the pit stop times, because Chris talked about it. The slowest of our pit stop times today, of the top runners, was Jamie Wilson, 56.55, 25 seconds stationary, let's call that. And then the fastest of all the cars by a long, long way was Kenzie Newhoff for Hydro Race Racing Forces on a 52.85 with a pit time of 21.98. So quite a variety, Clyde. That's a lot of time difference.
Yeah, so 22 seconds for Kenzie. What was Simon's?
Simon's was 22.22. So there was 2 tenths, nearly 3 tenths really, lost there.
It looks like both of those guys took roughly the same amount of fuel.
I would say so, yeah. I think it's very much the braking for the cones and then everything after that to get to your pit box that's made the difference. I mean, you're talking... Well, actually, yeah, you're talking 2 full tenths, which as an on-track time you'd be proud of, wouldn't you? Then you drop down to Jamie Wilson, where you're talking like 3.5 seconds between his time, his full pit lane time, and Simon Trendle's pit lane time, his own teammate.
Victor is closing on Jamie.
Yeah. The car behaviour is very different, but we've seen what happened to Victor last time. He got too wide, didn't he, going into Abbey on a couple of occasions.
Yes.
And it's all right being fast, isn't it? But you need to keep it on the grey stuff. Is that right? Black stuff? I don't know what it is.
Yes. But he did save it both times.
He
didn't
did.
he?
He did, yeah. Yeah. Which in V8s is pretty remarkable, to be honest. Some people just do the slowest spins ever in this car. Good evening to Demis. Why aren't you racing these? I'm sure the Hydro Race Racing Forces cars could do with the third.
They did have a third, didn't they?
Yeah, once upon a time, yeah.
You're not in that lolly yet?
No, it's so difficult to get in this bit. I nearly swore then. I nearly swore. It's got me to that point. I might have to do the whole Stanley knife situation. It shouldn't come to that, should it? What the hell? Right, who was in Hydro
kids
Race?
carry knives.
What?
That's why kids carry knives these days.
That's to stab each other, I'm
Not
pretty
to stab
sure.
each other, it's to get into lollies.
Why is this piece of sellotape so... Oh, hang on. Might have success here. We do often talk about food, but it's not often Chupa Chups, is it? So, this season, Hydro Race is... Racing Forces, rather. Is just Alex and Kenzie. We've had quite a few of their drivers through these fields in the past, though, haven't we?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think. They definitely had 3 last season.
Okay. Let me go and see last season then, while you... Well, actually, there's quite a few gaps appeared. At the minute, Victor's the one doing all the threatening, really, of Jamie Wilson in front of him, but the gap's still reasonable.
Yeah, Simon Trendle has got that gap to Kenzie under 2 seconds. There's 12 minutes to go.
Yeah, there's plenty of time to close that gap a lot further. This could come to a head at the end, Clyde. We've seen it so many times before.
Yeah.
So last season.
So if Kenzie is driving to a number, he has got nothing spare.
Ah, right, okay, because his pit stop was so close, yeah.
So he won't want Simon too close to him. One and a half seconds, Jamie Wilson to Victor Tanaka.
Was it David Fernandez?
Don't know.
No,
Don't
do I
think
know.
so.
Oh, it was Freddie. It was,
Was it?
Freddie Van Eekhoven.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, I like these lollies. Anyway,
What, you just eating the wrapper now?
I nearly did. It was the only way I was going to get through it, to be honest. I shall go back to showing last lap time rather than best, because I don't think many people are going to beat that Victor time, but I'll let you know if they do.
I'd be very surprised if anybody's got anything left now to put you in a fast lap time.
The only thing is that the fuel coming off, which might play into Kenzie's hands, because with a shorter pit stop, he's going to have less fuel on board.
Yeah. Well, he took, what, three and a half tenths out of Kenzie in the last lap.
Yeah. It's visibly closing.
Yeah, 9 minutes to go. So we're still looking at 4, maybe 5 laps. If Simon can pull some sort of tow, well, it'll obviously close the gap up, but it might also allow him to, if he is a little bit short, save a couple of laps of fuel and then really push in the final 2 laps.
Yeah, I think Chris might be drunk on the chat. There's Adam's got a message, and then Chris has got a couple of messages. If you read the second one back, it makes no sense. Kenzie looms to May and Hans. Sounds like one of those cryptic crossword messages, you know, where it's like an anagram of 16 different words. Kenzie looms to May and Hans save enough and now can push. Is that not a cryptic crossword puzzle clue or what?
I'm trying to work out what it should say.
I have no idea. I have no idea. I got through my lolly wrapper. That was easy compared to that message. A proper drunk
like
Canadian. Sorry.
Kenzie looks
To maybe
saved enough and
save.
can now push.
Oh, right. Okay. You did so much better than me. I was just like, what? No way.
Simon is now getting tow from Kenzie.
Yeah. And to echo what Adam said, hopefully everybody comes back next season for V8ESC Season 14. It's certainly going to be an eye-opening situation, especially if Johnny Brandon and XVR live up to what Johnny said earlier in the season and he rejoins. Because he always brings some friends, doesn't he, Clyde?
He certainly does, yes.
And that might mean that Simon doesn't necessarily have it his own way, but XVR were in Season 12 and he wiped the floor with them, really, didn't he? He was very dominant in Season 12.
Yeah, it'd be nice as well to see some new drivers in the league.
That'd be lovely,
although I don't think we'll get that until the new car gets released.
I was just going to say the same thing. V8's such a difficult car to drive. It doesn't attract people to drive it as new drivers, does it? Not a lot of people are like these guys and like that challenge, like that driving experience, which is what the V8 gives you. It gives you all the education you need for nearly every other car on the service, apart from the front wheel drive ones, I guess, which are a beast of their own. But when a new car comes out, everybody suddenly gets the interest and gets that hook, don't they?
Yeah. The new car comes out and you're like, oh, I'm buying that, it's a new car. And then the first thing you do is, oh, I wonder if there's any leagues running it.
Yeah. And then they'll find this one, which is the most successful one in the Northern Hemisphere, which is brilliant. And that gap behind is down to 0.6 of a second.
Yeah,
Oh.
a bit wild. There's 5 minutes to go. That gap is definitely closed because of the toe. But, you know, we've got to say the old cliche, catching is one,
Passing is another.
passing is another.
Yep.
For me, it depends on Kenzie's fuel situation. If he's got enough fuel to get to the end and go as quickly as he possibly can, it's going to be a very difficult task for Simon.
Yeah.
If Kenzie is still saving and needs to defend, then it's going to be interesting.
Well, the other thing is, Simon is very good at maintaining his tyres, his tyre life. I've seen Kenzie losing the car only slightly in various different directions, and Simon not doing that. I think that might be a key factor as well. Do we know whether the V8s will always be setup-wise identical to one another, even if there's a new car released?
No, absolutely no idea.
No idea, right?
I hope so.
Because these, for all that they look different,
Yeah.
they certainly walk like a duck and quack like a duck each other, don't they?
They do. And I know, you know, I get the whole, you know, authenticity argument about, you know, cars under the bonnet being different, but I don't know. Wouldn't it be nice? TCR this season has been fantastic. They got the balance of performance absolutely right, but every other season it's been crap.
It's been terrible for some of
You
them,
know,
yeah.
Wouldn't it be good if all the multi-class series, sorry, not multi-class, but multi-make series, were all exactly the same car but with a different shell?
Yeah, it'd be brilliant.
So you could, you know, in this series, for instance, we've got Ford, we've got Holden, and people drive what is their favourite or what they like the look of on each car build. You know, it'd be lovely in GT3, GT4, TCR. You know that, you know, if you're an Audi fan, you can drive the Audi and know it's no worse or no better than the Elantra or the Civic. Or it would just be brilliant.
At the very least, it would be good to know that this car A, is good on twisty tracks, and this car B, is good on high-speed tracks. Because then they balance each other out across an entire season somewhere. And you could commit to one car knowing that even if you lost at Bathurst, you can still make it back at Oschersleben. Do you know what I mean? Those little nuances are key to keeping variety in the world, right?
You could have picked such an easier track to say then.
I could have done, but I did well, right?
You did.
The fear's not kicked in fully, but Simon Trendle is right on the back of Kenzie now.
And they're going to get the white flag. So look for Barney. There he is.
Was he there, was he?
I'm sure he was there, yeah.
Oh, right, okay. Well, they're inside 2 minutes, so you had to be there. Can Simon get this done over Kenzie with, what's that, 3/4 of a lap to go or something?
Yeah. There is something else in the mix as well, but
Go
I
on.
can't say anything until it's finished.
Oh, fair enough. Oh, there's a bit of front end slide on Simon's car at least.
Jamie Wilson has left Victor Tanaka.
Yes, he has. Yeah, in pretty
I don't know
spectacular
whether
way.
Victor used his stuff or whether he's made another mistake somewhere and done a Tokyo drift.
Could have done. These Chupa Chups are like 99% sugar, right?
Yes.
Brilliant.
Yes, he will very shortly go and have a sugar poo.
No, it's too far off here.
Yeah, it's not looking good for Simon, even though he's got first in the first race and second in the second race.
Yeah.
But no, it certainly looks like Kenzie Newhoff is going to come round for a well-deserved win in the feature race, with Simon Trendle coming home second and Jamie Wilson is all on his own in third place.
Lonely third.
So what I was going to say is Kenzie Newhoff, I only looked when he started the last lap, but he was on 13 incident points.
Oh, right.
So he couldn't take any liberties on that last lap.
But clearly didn't need to, unless, we've seen this before, haven't we? We go to the finishing order and then it's all different. But we'll see. So who's left? Just, I was going to say just Rob Van, but I've not got a camera on him.
There he is. A clean looking car from Rob.
Yeah. I mean, he's way back because of jumping the start. Congrats for Kenzie on the chat from Adam Wright.
Yeah, there's a bit of a bromance going on there.
Isn't there
there?
just? Yeah, if they could get a room, they probably would. It'd be a pay by the hour room and they wouldn't need long, would they? So here comes Rob through Vale into club. And over the line to finish. Well done, Rob. And that's the last car over the line, Clyde.
It certainly is, yeah. Very tactical race there. And I think Kenzie was a deserved winner.
Definitely. Played a blinder. I don't know what he managed to extract in terms of his pit lane time, but it certainly played into his hands very well. As we watch him doing what I've now made as slow motion donuts and a nice smoke screen. It's quite stylish, really, isn't it? Until he stopped. Okay, right, let's see what we've got going on here.
Okay, so your official result for round 17, the feature race. Kenzie Newhoff for Hydro Race Racing Forces takes the win, with Simon Trendle, Team Chimera, in second, Jamie Wilson, Team Chimera, in third, and Victor Tanaka in fourth. Alex Simability for Hydro Race Racing Forces in fifth, and Woodward Never Quit Racing Europe in sixth. Tony Klosterman, Never Quit Racing in 7th. Nikolai Bogotyrev, NQR Europe in 8th. And Rob Venn, BSTV Esports Green in 9th.
Excellent work. Good effort. Right, let me find the beginning of the race and I'll start setting us up ready for interviews.
We already have a Tony in the booth, by the looks of it.
Really?
And
Good
a Simon.
grief. Right, okay. Excellent stuff.
Do you know why?
Because you're not in the booth.
Because we're in the interview waiting room.
What? How are we in the
Yeah.
interview waiting room?
I don't know.
Well, it's going to be a party now, then, isn't it?
Yeah, let's let
Right.
them all in.
Why not? Let's do a massive group interview, shall we?
Let's get everybody involved. Right, let's talk to Simon first. Simon.
Yes, hello.
Hello. By my calculations, and I've taken my slippers off and also used my toes, that makes it now impossible for anybody to catch you. So you are now a Simability V8ESC double champion. So congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. It's a shame, obviously the field shrunk, but yeah, I've been lucky, to be honest, because a lot of people have had bad seasons. So yeah, and I mean I've had good races, but nothing that reflects how big the points gap is.
Right. Well, yeah, but you can't have two lucky seasons on the trot. And tonight, a couple of great results. Obviously, lights to flags in the sprint race. And then the feature race, I think, was a bit more interesting. You know, the pair of you had to come through the field. There was times there. I think one that stuck out was going past Victor Tanaka, where I think Victor had a bit of a slide. His stuff was a bit hot, and he was still gathering things up. Kenzie seemed to get past him quickly. It took you a little bit longer, and then had to chase Kenzie down again, and then there was a fairly big gap, considering to what it usually is, after the pit stops, which again you had to chase him down again. So tell us about it from your point of view.
Yeah, so race 1 was just not making mistakes, and I failed at that. And obviously Kenzie had a bit of a pop at me at the last lap, which was fun. But yeah, the feature race. I was just shadowing Kenzie for the most part, and then obviously Jamie was actually having some luck and not messing up his race and was in a good position. And I was desperately trying to get to Kenzie and just like be a nuisance to slow him down, just so that maybe Jamie could have a pop at him. But I never got there. And then I tried to do something weird in the pit stop to try and help that, and it didn't work. I came out alongside Jamie and then started making all sorts of stupid mistakes. Jamie's new tyre mistakes are infectious apparently, so that didn't work. And then yeah, I was a tiny bit short on fuel, so I was managing that and trying to chase down Kenzie, and obviously I got there right at the end, but not enough laps.
And you know, I've obviously got my crystal ball on my desk, and I predicted that you would come out alongside Jamie.
Also,
and at that point, any race strategy that you have goes out of the window because you have to beat your teammate.
Oh no, I was trying not to crash into him at the time.
Well, yeah. To be fair, you the pair of you don't normally crash into each other, but I said in the commentary, I think if the championship was tight, there wouldn't have been a battle there at all. Jamie would have done the teammate thing, but the fact that the championship was over, it was actually good seeing you two on the same piece of track and having a battle.
Yeah, it wasn't intentional. I was stuffing it on the brakes.
I was too busy laughing.
Laughing at me. Yeah, I just wanted to get off to Kenzie and slow him down. Nope, couldn't do it.
Well, there's always next week. I don't even know where we are next
Sundown.
week. Stand down. That's it. Yeah. Oh, don't like that track. Anyway, congratulations on your win and your second place tonight, and B, taking away the championship 2 seasons on the trot, Simon Trundle.
Yep, thank you, and hopefully some Johnny comes back or Chris or someone, and I can start losing again. It'll be quite nice.
We're not going to see Chris back until he manages to take ladies' underwear off.
He's got to push that thumb out of the way, hasn't he?
Go on, Pete. Pick a victim.
Victim. I don't even know who's in the booth. I've not got Discord active. Kenzie's not here. Let's go Jamie. Let's do a Team Chimera. So, what was going on with you tonight? Because you were like racing at the front.
Yeah, I know.
What was that about? In 2 races at the same weekend. What?
I was bemused as you are. Well, you know why? It's because I got 2 not crap starts.
Yeah, we saw that. I was actually saying was it race 1? Who wants to be on the left-hand side of the track?
Yeah.
And Tony was obviously stacked up behind you both. Went to the middle of the track, and you were uber competitive in a way that we've not seen for. We used to see it a lot. I used to say that you were inseparable from what was his name? Sanderson. What was his first name?
Wayne Sanderson and Tyler as well.
And Tyler, yeah. You were always in that, just outside of the top 5, or in the top 5 rather. And for a little while, you've drifted just beyond the top 5. But this is great signs for me. Back in the top 5, dueling with your own teammate, who's the championship winner now. That must feel good, right? And can you attribute it to anything?
No, as I say, I was too busy laughing because if you remember, Simon couldn't do a couple of races with his VR headset out of action last season.
Yeah.
And one of those was Winton, in which he had a painful experience crew chiefing me. And one of my many errors was locking up a lot on new tyres out of the pits. So I'm very happy to have got some payback for that because he did exactly the same thing. So that's why I enjoyed that so much. But yeah, no, it wasn't intention. It was a case of he's on fresher tyres. He has like mega pace, so he had a chance to catch up to Kenzie and go for it. So I wasn't exactly gonna fight him too hard. But we need to not lose. If we're in that situation, we need to not cost each other time. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to battle Simon, regardless of whatever the championship position is, even if it's race 1. I'm not going to battle Simon in such a way that it costs us both collectively. So, and that works both ways. So, yeah, it was a bit of that, but intermixed with him having a bit of a heart attack about three times in a row. He said I'm doing a U. I said, don't try and be me. It's not all it's cracked up to be.
Brilliant. And in race 1, you had a bit of a coming together with Victor. You both suffered what I consider significant damage because you both had to pit the car.
Yeah, that was a bit of a weird one. For race 1, I ran a slightly different setup because we were experimenting with a couple of bits and bobs, and I was just like, sod it, let's go on the weird one. And I don't know if that was a contributing factor because I've not had that spin in any practice laps at all. It just absolutely, it was like a skid pan. It just like yeeted the rear wheels from underneath me. And Victor didn't really have anywhere to go. So
no, he pulled it hard over, and it definitely. We'll hear from Victor shortly.
The car's loaded up, so you can't. There's so much you can do. And then after that, I just sort of moped about without much confidence in the car. And then for the race 2, I reverted back to the more conventional setup. So.
So in the end, though, good points score for Team Chimera over the course of both. Clyde, have they won the championship? Putting him on the spot now. Can you hear the panic in his voice?
I'm going to say no.
Yeah, no. Apparently, you've not won it.
Yeah, you can hear the relays clacking away.
Clearly,
there's an abacus. I can hear an abacus. What's that?
I can still give penalties out. So.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Yeah, excellent. So yeah, not won the championship yet, clearly for the team. But a great night's racing. Anybody you'd like to shout out to before we move on to the next individual in the interview waiting room?
Yeah, whoever built this booth so large it can fit us all in.
It's brilliant, isn't it? It's massive.
Yeah, did that stem from you clicking on the wrong thing by any chance?
I don't think we don't know. We're blaming
I
each other right
chose-
now.
I think I joined the interview waiting room when I first came on
All
Discord, and Pete just blindly followed me in here, thinking I was in the right channel.
Yeah, that does sound like us. To be fair, doesn't it, Clyde?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
So-
no, thanks to you guys for putting it on. Thanks to everyone that turned out. I know a couple of people down. You know, Andrew Wood had some family commitments as well. I know Stephen Phillips had something else going on. So
Adam Wright had a wedding to go to. Who uses that as an excuse? I mean, that's pretty low on the pathetic scale, isn't it?
Well, Tyler's played that one before, isn't he?
Oh, he has, but it was his own.
Well, does that make any difference?
Well, not really, no. I mean, it's only temporary, right?
Yeah, I mean, he put the rig in the church. Be fine.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, hopefully it'll pick up. Sandown's an excellent track, so I'm hoping a couple of people were available for that.
Yeah.
And yeah, roll on next season.
Excellent stuff. Jamie Wilson, over to you, Clyde. Pick your next victim.
Okay, I'm going to go to Tony Kloosterman. Tony, so third place in the sprint race, and everything was Pete's trying to get into another lolly. Everything was looking pretty good, but not a particularly good feature race. It looked like, and I know you'll correct me if I'm wrong, that you seem to be using your tyres up fairly quickly.
First off, I want to congratulate Simon on his championship. Very well deserved. And I know Kenzie isn't in the top, in second place for the season because he missed a bunch of races, but excellent racing from him as well. Yeah, the first race was good. Had excellent battle with Alex that I just can't wait to watch back and see how that was. Very fair racing, very hard racing, and well done, Alex. Really, I had a grin on my face the entire time. Second race, I made a mistake on fuel, and I think you noticed I pitted early, and I was short a bunch, so I just ended up fuel saving for the rest of the race. Luckily, there weren't very many entries, and it didn't kill me.
No, that's interesting. We knew you pitted early, but what was it, a miscalculation, or was it one of those fudge fingers on the buttons?
I'm getting old, and somehow it didn't register that I actually ran out of fuel on the last corner in the first race, and I had to redo my calculation. I don't know, I just missed it, blacked out or something. So I was short a good gallon.
You must have done a bill and had a nana nap or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we we see you sideways a few times. What Silverstone? What do you think of the? Well, it's not new anymore, but this Silverstone layout, is it one that does it for you, or is it one that you can take it or leave it?
No, I could leave this. I think any of the F1 tracks, I don't believe are really suited for this car. I think that some of the tighter, narrower tracks are what this car is suited for, and so I don't enjoy it, but it wasn't too bad today.
Excellent. 12 weeks of Knock Hill coming up. Any shout outs you want to give before we move to somebody else?
Just you guys for doing the broadcast, of course. Simability, Wild Rides, and it was great to see Victor Tanaka back racing with us. So a bit of a surprise that he gave me a shout out this morning and asked, and he was able to make it. So good stuff. Take care, guys.
Excellent. Okay, Pete, back to you.
And over to Victor Tanaka. Have you got a what do they call it in trucking? Have you got my 10 or my 6 or something? I don't know. Have you got any numbers at all for me?
Any numbers?
Yeah,
What do you mean by
I
numbers?
have no idea. Uh,
How you guys doing?
not bad.
Nothing's changed, Victor. Nothing has
Nothing
changed.
has changed. We're still as crazy and stupid as we were the first time you joined us. A great night's racing from you. Let me find you on track, and there you are. What possessed you? I mean, what was the inspiration behind coming back to V8ESC?
Yeah. Well, I beg to differ. I don't think there was anything great about my driving today.
Oh no, it's
But
good. It's good.
it was okay-ish on the second race. But well, first off, like really happy to be back. I've been selling cars for the last 5 years, and like Saturdays, it's not really optional
Yeah.
when you're in the car business. So yeah, I was never able to make it, and yeah, I'm surprised you guys still remember me because it's been so long.
No, how could we forget the annihilator of fields?
I'll never forget you T-boning me at Bathurst.
That will never die. He brings that up all the time.
Which time was that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Pick it out of the hat. Yeah. You are a fantastic racer, and I'm guessing time outside of the seat, time off the track, maybe time out of the V8. I'm not sure, but in no time at all, you were pretty much back on it, matching lap times. A few little bits where you were getting the car a bit too wide into Abbey, and getting that off track, and the car snapping on you, and that lost you quite a few positions given everything. Also collecting Jamie along the way. But it's great to have you back. You are an utter fantastic racer, and can you do me a deal on a car?
Well, not anymore because I've left.
What do you mean you've left? All your
That's why
uses
I'm
have just gone. What is that? He's useless now, Clyde. He's useless. Dear me.
Oh man, but yeah. So I mean, I was surprised. I wasn't that far off of the pace. I mean, I guess it was almost like 9/10 to Kenzie. I don't know how he put. I mean, him and Simon pulled a 2:01.1 in qualifying. But yeah, if I got another 10th, which I did. It's hard to put it together, but I did have another 10th or two in my quali lap. Like I would have started on on the second row, and that would have been crazy. But yeah, no, like I was trying some a few different things. Like the first setup that I tried, it was too understeery, and then I put a different one on. But then it was only fast for a couple of laps, and then it got impossible to control the rear. So like I had like different setups in race 1 and race 2. I kind of like the one on race 1 better, but I didn't finish that one because I was just spinning everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But and then on the second race, I went with the setup that was a little tighter, and it did make the car easier to drive for the first half of the stint. But then it got loose anyways, and then it was just slow. So like by the time we got to the pit stops, I had a couple of mistakes there into Cops, I think. Which I was braking on the grass. I was going, like a little too wide. So like I caught a tire on the grass, which spun me around. Like half spins. Like I tried to hold up the guys, but they eventually came through. But yeah, like after the pit stop cycles, I was there about with Jamie. Like trying to catch him. Pushing really really hard, and yeah, I just didn't have an answer for him. But it's still happy to be like top 4. That's not it's not too bad given having raced this car in years.
Well, you say that, and a great synopsis of your races. But look at the names that are behind you tonight. Specifically in race 2, obviously. So you got Ant Woodward, who's always here. He's a great racer. Tony Klusterman, nothing more to say there. Nikolai, Rob Venn, and Vincent Skilbeck. If he'd raced, obviously he'd annihilated you. But your first time back in the car after such a long time out, you can only be proud of that, even if you've lost all your uses to me because you can't sell me a used car or a new car. But we'll
I got the contacts.
You got the contacts. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Excellent. That's all we need to know. Are you going to be back with us for Sundown?
I'll try. Like now that I'll be off on the weekends. Of course I'm not sure if I'm always gonna be home, but yeah, if I'm around, I'll definitely drop in and have some fun. Like today was definitely, I wanted to do it, which is the only reason why I did it. But if I could skip this track, I would do everything not to race here.
Well,
But but either way, yeah, but it's not like I've been, like I still like sim race. I actually do. I race a GT3 league every Wednesday. And I actually just won a championship a couple weeks ago. So it's not like I've been, like not sim racing at all. But
There's a time limit on these interviews, Victor.
Plus I have thousands of laps in the V8 supercar. You know what I mean? So like all I need is a couple minutes on the seat.
Yeah.
To bring it all back.
And you've got about 15 minutes before you get anywhere close to a Tyler Newitt interview. So I wouldn't let that worry you too much.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't showed up in years, right? It's all stacked. Like my interview time has been stacked.
Yeah, we can spread it out. It's fine.
We're not therapists.
No, we're not therapists. But while we
that's not Sam Blee's numbers. He's still got the record.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, he's got the world record, hasn't he, for like hours. Yeah, we'll let you review your priorities and then realise that V8ESC is more important than whatever else you've got going on, plus GT3s. We will see you at Sandown and all of Season 14 when that launches on July 15th. Is that right, Clyde?
That's correct.
Yeah, get it in your calendars. Everybody that's in the interview room, listening to the broadcast and everything else that's going on. And any shout-outs you want to make, Victor, before we let you go and celebrate your 4th in Race 2 and your crashing into Jamie in Race 1?
Well, so I was actually trying to like straighten him back up, like facing the right way. I'm not sure if it worked out, but that's what I was.
It nearly worked.
That's what I was going for. But yeah, it sounds like it's not optional, so I do have to race this now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll be back. Yeah, thanks a lot to Tony and to Clyde. I literally, hit him up like 40 minutes before the qualifying started, and they sorted it out. Like they sent me an invite to the league and everything. Like Tony gave me, like a very good baseline setup to,
to beat him with.
To start for exactly. And
it won't happen again.
Make your own bloody setups, Victor Tanaka. Yeah. Awesome stuff.
Yeah, it's always good to know that I got friends here, in this town, so happy to be back.
Quality stuff. Love it. Brilliant. Over to you, Clyde.
Woodward.
Hello.
Hello. So, where was
this
we
is
tonight?
different.
Very.
5th in the first race, or 6th from last, and 6th in the second race, or 4th from last. We saw you in a few battles, but not as many as we normally see you in. Now, is that because people that you're normally battling with weren't here tonight, or does it go back to the Silverstone stroke V8 stroke don't go together?
Yeah, I think so. I just felt a bit slow, really, and then I was the second race. I was pitting. Jamie was sharing the pit lane with me at the same time, I think, or Simon. And I thought, I might be doing all right here, and then just went back. Like I'm happy because 5th and 6th is pretty good, isn't it, in the league? If everyone was here, it'd be amazing. But when you look at your on the dashboard and you look at the whole field, I'm in the bottom half of the field. So, yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter how many people show up. You still score those points for 5th and 6th.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what? Obviously, we haven't seen your let's call them in-car pictures for a while. I don't know if that's because we don't know how to do it, or whether you're not broadcasting them anymore. But are you still doing things exactly the same as you used to?
Yeah, they're top secret now. I'm having to hide them because I'm a bit faster. So, no, all it is technical difficulties. So I've taken the cameras off and I'm running bare bones and slowly introducing them. I had foot cam back on the other night. Probably why I was a bit slow. I've been enjoying VIR this week in the officials all week and let the practice for this one slip a bit. So there's a little bit of an arriving drive as well today. But so far, no technical issues since the last ones.
Excellent. And have you actually, apart from unplugging everything, did you find a reason, or are you just trying at the moment to fault find it?
Yeah, I sent the email. I had a reply from SimCube, and they gave me a couple of suggestions, which one of them was maybe a possible solution. So
Give up racing?
yeah, well, it was close, wasn't it? I gave up for a week once.
You did, didn't you? Yeah, you
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
full on quit for a whole. Well, I don't even think it was a week, to be
Yeah,
honest.
was that the
Took it
stroppy?
apart.
Was that the stroppy 96 hours, Clyde?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I took it
Yeah.
apart and put it back together again the next day.
So where are we next week? Sandown.
Yeah, I love
How do
that
you
place.
go around there? You like it? Yeah.
Yeah, short track, love it. My lap
It
times
is-
don't look so bad.
Is that the one they call the home of horsepower?
Yeah.
That is, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And plans for next season?
Top NQR driver again. I need to know, was Victor as an NQR driver today?
No.
No, he wasn't.
No.
No, he's
Oh, he was
Okay.
a guest.
Oh, so
in
that's good
another
then.
team.
I know Tony loves it when I'm the top NQR driver because I don't hardly rub it in all week at all.
Never hear it.
They get that every week in TCR, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, any shout outs you want to give, Ant?
Yeah, the usuals. You guys for doing it. Stacey, Jack, Evie, Simability, and the team. NQR. Thanks very much, boys.
Excellent. Well, only one victim left for you, Pete.
Yeah, Alex. Good evening. He is the commander of our Twitter account now, and we owe him a massive amount, I expect. Good evening. And how did your race evening go, Alex?
Hi guys, good evening. Race 1 was super fun, and race 2 was a bit less fun, but I still had a pretty good battle with Anthony, so that made it worth it, I guess.
Yeah, you were definitely in the thick of it in the first race. Very exciting series of exchanges. What do you feel is missing from either the setup or the track or yourself from getting into that podium finish scenario?
Well,
Alan.
What did you say, Alan?
probably the talent, but
Oh, talent, right? Okay.
no, I think it's just in case of the V8, it's just practice, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't think I would be on the pace of Simon and Kenzie, I would say, on every single track. But I think if I practiced more, I would be on their pace and quite a few tracks, I think.
Yeah, I think he's blaming us, Clyde, because he's driving our Twitter account too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That we're making him do too much work.
We're
and he
making
can't
him
practice.
slow, aren't we? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Does everybody else in the chat believe that or not?
I've got just a
Nobody
link,
responded then. They're not listening anymore, are they? But to be honest, your speed is phenomenal. And your car control, you seem in control of the car 100% of the time. I didn't see you sliding around very much at all. I'm just looking at your pit stop time. Your pit stop time was really good in the second race. Maybe a little bit high in pit lane road time. So that plus your pit lane stationary time. But other than that, pretty well controlled and very, very fast. How will you approach other races differently or the same?
what do you mean exactly?
In
as
terms
practice,
of
or?
in terms of your pit lane strategy, in terms of how you approached your aggressiveness in the race or your reservedness in overtaking other people. Do you have a strategy when you go out? Do you say, I'm gonna take this one carefully. I'm gonna fuel save because I know this track is good for that, or I'm gonna boot it because I just need to get round as fast as I can. This track you can't fuel save on, etc. How do you approach each race?
Well, it's really dependent on especially quality pace and just position also. It's quite situational. Then I just think a couple of minutes before the race how I'm gonna approach it. Then after race start, like after lap 1, 2, I kind of settled my race strategy. Yeah, based on the situation as well. But yeah, usually, I usually tend to go for fuel saving behind the car, and then try to attempt an overtake in the later stages. Because I don't know, I think I can manage tires pretty well. And but yeah, sometimes like some races I've had, for example, a car that was a bit slower in front of me, and then I had like Simon, Kenzie, or someone else behind because it was a feature race reverse grid, and then I had to make a move into the early stage, and yeah, that changes a little bit the strategy. And for example, today I knew Kenzie and Simon when they were just faster, like they pulled 7, 8 tenths in quali single lap, so I knew I didn't have that. Yeah, maybe by the end of the race, I would be like 3 tenths closer to them or so, but I didn't have 8 tenths. So I knew they would pull away. So I knew my fight was with Tony. And since we opened the gap behind us during the sprint race, I knew we had room to fight. And yeah, I was just sending it the whole time. But then, for example, feature race, yeah, after lap 1, that I hit, what was it? I forgot what I hit, but yeah, I hit someone into lap 1, and yeah, I was quite behind, so I was just trying to feel safe and yeah, recover some positions. But then I pitted 1 lap late, which was a mistake, and then I overfueled by 7 liters, which was another mistake. So I did all that for nothing, basically.
Yeah, you were stationary a bit longer than other people around you.
Yeah, I tend to miss the race fuel like every single race. I don't know how I do it.
Right. Okay. Well, maybe that's something to address next time. Kenzie absolutely knocked it out of the park tonight. He's not in here to chat with, but did a great job staying just ahead of Simon throughout the race, which is always good for the Hydro Race Racing Forces points. Anybody you'd like to have a shout out to? Obviously, your sponsors, NetLife, Rat Hydro Race, etc. Go for it.
Yeah, of course. Both our sponsors, you mentioned them already. Dan, Hydro Race's owner. He's a great guy, and he's recently sponsored our shirts. He will be sending us the shirts. So great guy, and of course Simability. I think their idea is great. What they promote. So I only hope good things for them, and you guys for the broadcast. Kenzie for the field corrections, because I was 10 liters lower on fuel calculations according to my practice stint. So yeah, thanks to him, I didn't underfuel, and yeah, Tony for the great race we had. That was insane. So yeah, that's it.
It was insanely good, and we look forward to seeing it again at Sandown and hopefully all the way through season 14 as well. Alex Lado, everybody, over to you, Clyde, to close us up. Do you feel a bit awkward because everybody's in here still and we're still talking?
No,
Hang on. Don't forget Russ.
Russ.
Please wait, mate. We're racing.
Oh yeah. I've got one of them as well. Just give me a minute. I've got it. Takes me longer.
Please wait, mate. We're racing.
No, I was literally going to say before you and I disappear into the live booth to plot who's going to win the commentators championship, let's hand back to Simon Trendle and let him do some shout outs, because I did forget, and also let him thank everybody for letting him win season 13. Simon Trendle.
Yeah, thanks everyone for letting me win. you're all evil for not racing me. Yeah, you guys for doing the league and running the broadcast. I know it's obviously a shame people drop out. Simability for sponsoring the league. Sorry for making it boring. And Jamie, because yeah, he actually did okay for once.
Excellent. Well, thanks for coming in for an interview, guys, and me and Pete will disappear into the live booth and let you do all your post-race discussions. So thank you very much. Okay, back where we belong.
Yes.
So, driver of the evening.
Oh, don't. This one's a tough one.
It's tough, isn't it? Because, well, for me, I'll tell you what, I'll make it easier for you and I'll
Go on.
start.
Yeah.
For me, there's two standout drivers, and that's Kenzie and Simon tonight. A long shot, you could say Jamie Wilson for his podium in the feature race, Tony Kloosterman for his podium in the sprint race, Victor Tanaka just for his racing style. But it's got to be, for me, Kenzie or Simon. And I think for two reasons. Number one, I don't think I've ever voted for him before. And number two, he's won the championship again. My vote's going to go to Simon Trendle.
Very good. That's why I left him on screen, because I expected you to do that. Where does my vote go? I like the fact that Tony got a podium tonight. I like the fact that Jamie got a podium tonight. It was great to see Tony in a combative, very like competitive behavioured car and approach to the race. And for that reason, I think I'm going to have to vote for Tony tonight. I know you were saying about Simon and Kenzie. They benefit for me in terms of their points, and obviously Simon benefits from winning the championship, and congratulations to him for doing such a fantastic job this season. But my vote for tonight is going to go Tony Kloosterman for his podium in race one.
Great. Well, that puts Tony ahead.
Oh, right, crikey, right, okay.
With only two more votes to come. So
we'll see about that then. Yep. Let's see.
Tony Kloosterman in pole position for the most coveted award in Motorsports. I think I just made that up.
You did, but we'll roll with it and we'll pretend it never happened.
Yeah, no. Let's start a thing rolling. That's it. Another fascinating set of races. One more meeting to come next week from Sandown. Hopefully, we'll get a bit better grid for that one. Big thanks to the drivers that did turn up. And as always, we always say this, even with small grids, they still managed to put on a fantastic show. Big thanks to Simability for sponsoring the league. Big thanks to Chris and everybody else that join in on the chat. And I was going to say, we have some fun with them, but most of the time they're just pointing out the things that we've missed. And big thanks to Pete for doing the cameras and joining me in the booth. I shall say goodnight, let Pete say goodnight, and then we'll close the broadcast. So good night, everybody. Thanks for watching and stay safe.
Yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for racing, those that did. We'll hope to see everybody else racing for our last race week at Sandown next weekend, the 10th of June. We look forward to that, and we look forward to seeing you and experiencing that race with you. Good night, everybody, and take care.